So Gene Deal has claimed that Puffy giving up Biggie's music rights this late is due to the fact that he wants to clean up his image.
So Bargain has guaranteed that Puffy surrendering Big Deal's music freedoms this late is because of his desired truth. To tidy up his picture, he's been taking a ton of terrible hits. So he's enduring this multitude of shots. He got to attempt to think back in the public while he's emerging with a collection. And in addition to he's getting an honor, so he got to look great going into it, 'cause right now in the public's eye, he don't look that great. Brother Piggy's mother should consent to this on the grounds that already she had needed to meet Jin and question him about what truly befell her child just for dead. He'd a lie that he didn't know Jean, yet he told her he didn't realize me reason. He presumably did. That was on the grounds that he realized that I planned to tell Miss Wallace all what happened to few others, have discussed the way that Diddy raked in some serious cash from his craftsmen. And it's unusual that he needed to sit tight years for him to give them back their freedoms. Puffy has been bringing in cash off of Big Deal's name for longer than Big Deal was alive. Jan has likewise said that Diddy was surrendering the music privileges after he had depleted it. He took their distributing and utilized it and made millions off of it that assisted them with being a tycoon. And afterward, he going to give them back with nothing in the tank. So for what reason did Diddy at last choose to surrender his craftsman music right? We should get into it. Shay Diddy Combs has been feeling giving this year since in the wake of giving assets to HBCU in the Apollo Theater. He has gifted distributing privileges of awful kid record tunes to the first specialists and essayists, well in an interesting move evidently themed for Workday. Terrible Kid Records organizer Shay Diddy Combs chose to reassign his awful kid distributing freedoms back to all Terrible Kid specialists and journalists who aided incorporate Terrible Kid into the stalwart. It is today a source near the circumstance affirmed an assortment. This move has astonished General Society, and most have been addressing why the music big shot would choose to return music freedoms to his craftsmen. This late during the 1990s, it was normal for marks or mark proprietors to take a level of a craftsman's distributing as a feature of a recorded music bargain. Albeit that disorder has disappeared as craftsmen and lyricists become more mindful of the worth of their distributing privileges. Considers it to be essential for a more extensive objective of advancing financial strengthening for dark specialists in culture. The source said the specialists being referred to incorporate the famous Hughes home, Confidence Evans, Mace the Locks 112, and a lot more undefined makers. Explicit subtleties were not quickly accessible, yet the resources are supposed to be worth countless dollars. Those resources have expanded emphatically in esteem lately as specialists or homes addressing the music catalogs Bounce Dylan, Bruce Springsteen, beginning Leather Vandross, and numerous others have hammered out nine-figure agreements selling, or to some degree, offering the freedoms to those catalogs. As per the source's data, it's being noticed that Diddy had gotten different extravagant proposals for the freedoms to the Terrible Kid distributing inventory, yet rather than remaining quiet about them, he chose to reassign the freedoms to the lyricists. The source additionally added that the vast majority of the beneficiaries have been found reached and marked the vital administrative work. We're informed the reasoning for this reduces to needing to alter the business, with this to engage craftsmen and to change around the unique, which has been a sure way for quite a while as a feature of his inheritance. Diddy's expecting to enhance others locally detailed the power source comms, started the cycle a long time back, purportedly turning down an arrangement to sell the Awful Young Men records list that accompanied a nine-figure sticker price. Yet is this a thoughtful gesture on Com's part? Or is it a futile effort for good PR? Various individuals, including previous Terrible Kid craftsman Imprint Curry, believe it's the last option in case the distributing is worth little in the event that anything. Days after the insight about Diddy's move, Curry took to virtual entertainment to uncover the music big shot. Curry is most popular for showing up on Com's hit single Awful Kid Forever, and demands that the worth of the distributing is close to nothing as of now. Curry expressed on Instagram experience that Combs gave him his distributing back a long time back yet, just gets up to $400 a year, saying he'd prefer Combs keep the distributing and give him and different craftsmen $1 million. Rather, he likewise compared Combs returning the distributing to the specialists and scholars to giving somebody their sweetheart back in the wake of having 10 children with her. He's simply offering back what he never ought to have had in any case. Curry said the rapper has expounded on Puffy's transactions with his craftsmen in the 2009 book, Playing with Fire: How Puff Copied the Terrible Young Men of Hip Jump Anyway. He's not the primary rapper, or anybody so far as that is concerned, to reprimand Combs about distributing John Bargain. Additionally, implied on the way that the distributing freedoms being rewarded their proprietors was worth so little since he has depleted it, he connected the endeavor to an acquired vehicle. It resembles giving me your vehicle with a full tank of gas, and I take it back to you on void. He additionally guaranteed that Puffy should do some PR stuff for himself, since his picture isn't that great with the public right currently, as per board one more previous craftsman of awful young men. Mace censured Diddy back in 2020 for obscure strategic approaches with him and other terrible young men craftsmen. The Harlem MC added to some of Terrible Kid Records' greatest hits, including Feel So Great Cashmo issues with the infamous Enormous in brushes, and on a few of Combs' hits like Might No One at Any Point Hold Me Down, and been all over the planet. Murder Mace guaranteed Puff exploited him by giving him only $20,000 for his distributing privileges when he originally joined Awful Kid, and later turned down his $2 million proposal to repurchase his list. His eruption came after Diddy gave an exceptionally extended discourse at Clive Davis' pre-Grammy function in which he chastened the Recording Foundation for not regarding dark hip-hop and R&M specialists. I clearly heard you when you said that you are currently for the craftsman. And to that my reaction is, if you have any desire to see transform, you can roll out an improvement today by beginning with yourself. Mace composed. Mace guaranteed that Diddy's previous strategic policies have intentionally proceeded to deliberately starve his craftsmen, and has been very out of line to exactly the same craftsman that assisted him with getting that symbol grant on the famous Awful Kid name. Mace said, for instance, you actually got my distributing from a long time back in which you gave me $20,000, which makes me never need to work with you as a craftsman. Wouldn't after you realize somebody is burglarizing you and discoloring your name when you would rather not conform to his unpleasant plan of action. Diddy recently said on the Morning Meal Club last year that Mace really owed him $3 million a case, that Mace questioned forcefully anyway. Last week, Mama's long-lasting companion and colleague Cameron took to Instagram to indicate that Mace had at long last accepted his distributing back from Diddy. Cameron released the fresh insight about the distributing game plan in an Instagram post before the end of last week, referring to his companion's unique rapper name Murder Mace. Cameron wrote in a post about the lost documents his approaching mixtape My Man Murder needed to pass on this one. He just got his distributing back from Puff. Just completed the desk work for that yesterday. Congratulations at RSVP Mace. While he is getting his music once again all together, I'm unloading my hard drive. The Lost Documents Volume 1 September 8th General Society is asserting that Puffy may be feeling remorseful for how he treated his craftsmen, and that giving the craftsmen back their freedoms was an approach to saying sorry for his deeds. Most have likewise raised the way that, very much like Panther had said, Diddy stashed truckload of cash off Big Deal's music, regardless of the way that Diddy didn't pay special attention to him. Puffy has been bringing in cash off of Big Deal's name for longer than Big Deal was alive. The mother of Big Deal Smalls recently discussed her agony on the 20th commemoration of the hip bounce legend's inexplicable homicide, uncovering that the aggravation of losing her child has never disappeared. Talking solely to DailyMail.com, Vita Wallace conceded that she harms each and every day realizing that she won't ever see her child from this point forward, and that his executioner is currently on the loose in a stunning case. She likewise uncovered that she and LAPD criminal investigators exploring the homicide truly do realize who is liable for her child's demise, yet a trick kept the case from truly being tackled. She had attempted to contact John Bargan, since he was her child's guardian, and furthermore realized what befell Big Deal, yet Diddy deceived her that he didn't realize Gene. So was this move a conciliatory sentiment to Big Deal's mom for what befell Big Deal? Or is he fabricating great PR for his next collection? Combs has another collection, the Adoration Collection off the network, highlighting Justin Bieber, the end of the week influence Lee Mary J. Blige, and others dropping September 15th. A fan on Twitter said in the news today, P. Diddy is offering back the freedoms of